Time to take over the world. Innerwear and leisure wear for troublemakers. Jockey Juniors.
Good afternoon, everyone. A warm welcome to all the parents joining us today. We are delighted to have you with us for this special online workshop under NIE Color Splash, an initiative by the Times of India NIE program in association with Jockey Juniors. While NIE Color Splash celebrates creativity and self expression in children, we also believe that nurturing their overall well being, emotional, mental, and physical, is just as important. Today's session is a step in that direction, creating a space where parents can gain clarity, reassurance, and practical guidance in navigating their child's growth journey. We are pleased to have with us Dr. Nitin M, a consultant pediatrics and neonatology with extensive experience in children health and development. Dr. Nitin works closely with families on growth, nutrition, and overall well being, and is also known for his calm and reassuring approach with both children and parents. We are truly glad to have him with us today. I request all the parents to keep their cameras off and mic on mute for a seamless session. Over to you, Doctor.
Hello, good afternoon. 1 second, we'll just share the screen. Is the screen visible? Hello, is the slideshow visible?
Yes, it is visible. We can start.
Once again, good afternoon. I'm Dr. Nitin, working in Motherhood Hospital, Electron City. I'm heading the unit here. Thank you, Times of India, for this wonderful opportunity and including the jockey. We'll start the session. Okay. Today it's going to be an interesting session, and we'll talk about obesity and topics related to this. Okay. Yeah. So regarding the childhood obesity, mainly the prevention, building healthier future next generation. Okay. Yeah, introduction to the childhood obesity. Obesity is a growing health problem. Okay, it's a growing health concern. Of late, in the past, few years, we have seen, the obesity increasing. It's like an epidemic, going to be a pandemic kind of. We would have seen in the Western world, obesity is quite common, and most of many kids are obese over there. In India, it's slowly happening, and they're telling almost 10 to 30% of the adolescents in India are going towards the obese thing. Okay, obesity or the child being chubby is nothing but there is an extra body fat. Okay, which is affecting the child's health. And obesity is usually measured in terms of the BMI, the basal metabolic. And also, as a pediatrician, we also see the weight and other scaling. Okay, so generally there could be a condition called a pre-obesity will land into the obesity and then severe obesity also. If you see in the graph, 3 standard deviation we tell as a severe obesity. Almost 2 to 3 we tell as a obesity. Okay, and measured during using the BMI for the age percentile, and it's rising rapidly in the urban India. So maybe due to various reasons, the food, the decrease in exercise, and we would have seen in the post, COVID pandemic, there was a rise in obesity. And of late, when we ask the parents, most of them are tell that due to the COVID, there was less of activity, and the child was not taken out, decreased play. So indoor thing, all these would have contributed to the obesity that time, but overall that effect is little less seen right now. Okay, and according to the data, the Indian data, the National Family Health Survey data, in less than 5 years, almost 3 to 4% kids are obese, and it is more prevalent in the urban than the rural. That is, of course, understandable. Rural kids, maybe one is the intake may be less, and they may be more into play and other things involvement. Whereas urban, a lot of opportunities for eating. There's online grocery stores, so many things are there, and decrease in the physical activity. Okay, and we also have seen the of late in the last decade, the intake of the snacks and this junk food has increased almost threefold thanks to the ads and so many things in the media. Okay, we have seen an increase in the consumption, in the marketing or all these things. So these also would have contributed to the urban obesity or overall the obesity. So for the main thing for the obesity is the prevention. Early prevention is essential. Okay. So there are a lot of factors, to know the reason for obesity, why exactly it is happening. And if we come into the shortening of this, of the many factors, from the pregnancy itself, it adds on. And of course, the ethnicity, you have seen some particular, even the genetics, and they tell if the one of the parent is obese, there's 50% likely that the child will be obese, and both parents, almost 80%. And the physical characteristics, the diet, eating a lot of junk food, even the sleep. Okay, sleep is also important. Decreased sleep, will add on to the obesity. And the parental factors, how the child is, the upbringing of the child, the availability of food, and of course the socioeconomic, parameters are there where the people from the good economic background, a lot of food, and meaning the consumption of the food will be good, and those from the less of money such thing, the awareness also will be less, and of course the consumption also will be less. Even the education level of the parent is equally important. Who are more educated, they may know what are the consequences of overeating and other things. As I told, the household income and community factors are this school. Okay, the available ground is important. At least half an hour of physical activity and is important in the playground. Better to choose, and in the housing. So a nearby house, whether there is an area, whether there is any park, or there are other kids to play. All these matters. And as we already discussed, the literacy is also an important factor. Okay, so. We have seen in our OPD practice, unless we tell the parents that your child is obese, they won't tell. Why? Because not most, many parents like the kid to be chubby. Okay, so not just chubbiness, it's a metabolic condition, and it continues into the adulthood most of the times, and it is influenced by diet, the lot of junk consumption, or a lot of this fat, saturated fat, and of course the activity of the kid. The kid is more active. It will be all burned, the food thing, and sleep, environment. A lot of factors are there affecting the obesity. Okay, let me before coming to the prevention, as briefly see what are the main factors causing obesity. So if we deal with it, then maybe the prevention will. These days, the food with the junk and ultra processed foods are easily available in the market, the packed food. Those are an important cause. So what are the junk food? In the junk food category, the junk food comes, the ultra processed food come, and also the the caffeinated drinks, beverages also come, and also the sugar sweetened beverages. Compared to the fruits, compared to the fruit juices, maybe the fruits will be better. So all the fruit juices also sugar content can add on to this, and the extra screen time. Okay, when we watch TV, or if you've seen when you go to the theater, you'll be just watching, and you may not know what is going inside the tummy. So same thing with the TV. Too much of TV, mobile, it happens like sometimes, not sometimes, most of the time they may overeat also. What they don't require, it will continuously go in. And of course, the screen time is also like if it is introduced early, behavior changes, such things and all. So as a pediatrician doctor, we generally restrict the screen time. Though maybe we can say less than 2 years, no screen time, 2 to 5 years, almost 1 year, and 2 hours of healthy, screen time would be better. And yeah, another important thing is the physical activity. Okay, we know that when we exercise, or when we, when the kids play, a lot of energy will be burnt in that. Okay, so lack of physical activity, the calories are not burned, so obesity. And the sleep pattern. Okay, sleep is equally important, as I told previously. So sleep, meaning good sleep, the peaceful will be there. There'll be peaceful, calm. So kids around 10 hours of sleep is required, almost 5 to 10 years old. And below that age, almost 11 to 12 hours of sleep time is required. Okay. And another important thing is a family lifestyle habit. So if the parents are okay with the child being chubby, or child being, they also like to eat food, then we see the obesity as a common prevalence, and they may not feel it as. Okay, now what are the disadvantages? Okay, so in the long run, maybe the child will be chubby in the beginning, but as it continues, there are other important risks also, mainly the type 2 diabetes. Okay, a lot of adipose, fat, type 2 diabetes. Okay, the fatty liver disease, hypertension is more common in the earlier ages, and even in the girls, the PCOS, the polycystic ovary is quite commonly seen. And of course, the future cardiovascular disease risk is there, of any arterial block, heart attack, or many other things. So basically, obesity has a lot of consequences in the near future also. And yeah, some of the what all this obesity will lead. They also will have the psychological part, psychological, like depression. They might feel the body is fat, and talks to them, teases them, bullying, anxiety, poor self-esteem, eating disorder. Okay, this also can be seen. Some kids like to eat more, so they will be automatically more chubby. And sleep disturbance will be there. As I told, cardiovascular risk is there, and even asthma is quite common. And menstrual irregularities can be there in the adolescent age group, and renal, some issues can be there. Okay. So, as I was telling, this obesity, you would have experienced in your school. The kids who are little obese, they may be a little more bullied. Okay, and they will have the low self-esteem. They will eat more. So many things, so many things. Okay, and even as I told, this anxiety is quite common, and even the depression is quite common, and they'll be having a low confidence. Okay. And coming to the preventive strategies, how it can be, cut short. So the prevention is the cure, and prevention starts from the early stages. What we tell as pregnancy, and the first one total around 1,000 days. From there only, this obesity can be avoided. Okay, the first 1 or 2 years is very crucial. Okay, and the mother with a good weight gain, optimal weight gain during pregnancy, okay, the less rise risk for the obesity. And who are breastfed, okay, the obesity is little less. Who are not having mother's milk, the kids who are formula fed, we see obesity little more common. Okay, and of course we tell the breastfeeding to be continued till 2 years and beyond. And if the mother's milk is not available, suppose, then giving donor milk would be better than the formula if it is available. These days we are having shortages of the donor milk. And the the when the child is given the food to eat, so initially, as you know, the first few months, the first 6 months, we give the mother's milk. So after that only, better to start the other food, complementary food. So early introduction of the complementary food, suppose 5 6 months, and we see this obesity. Okay, and the sugar also to be restricted. We generally say in the first year, the first 2 years, avoid the sugar. Okay, and salt also keep it minimal, especially in the first year. Okay, they will have the craving for the sugary items. So many things are there. Okay, and packed food should be avoided. Okay, and bottle feeding also we generally tend to avoid. Okay, and promote responsive feeding. Okay, and avoid force feeding. So responsive feeding meaning when the baby is hungry you give. Okay, and the kids also will know the fullness, meaning when it is reached better to stop, not to feed more, not to overfeed. Okay, the kids also they know when to eat, when not to eat. So generally understanding such cues or understanding such a behavior would be, and of course the force feeding should be avoided, and food shouldn't be a reward thing. Okay, food should come into all those things. Okay? And yeah, healthy feeding environment, as we discussed briefly, we also come a little more into this. So there should be a structured meal timing and routine. This particular time, suppose morning, afternoon, evening, night. Okay, such things better to maintain. And the food should be a balanced diet with diverse food groups, meaning uh, it should include the fruits, the vegetables, the fiber. Okay, all those things, and different items better to give, but don't better not to repeat the same every time. Okay, and as we were discussing in the first 1 year, we restrict the salt also to be a little less. Okay, trans fat also to be less, and the free sugar also to be less. We also discuss about the benefits of the fruits over the juice, so encourage the kids to have more of fruits than taking the fruit juices. Why? Because fruit juice has sugar in it. Okay, and of course the water intake is should be very liberal, and instead of the packed, instead of the seed, okay, food, better to eat the freshly cooked food. Okay, ingredients are more in the stored food compared to the cooked food. So prevent behavior. Okay, the parents to be a role modeling they should have a role modeling approach, an authoritative approach. Okay, and as we discussed, the kids hunger to be recognized, and when the child is full also to be recognized, and encourage portion self regulation, as we discussed, and involve child in the shopping and cooking. So this make the kid more interested in the eat. They'll be like, okay, what all things to add, what is good, what is not good, and they will also like to eat then. So they should also feel. Okay, eating should be eating should be a active involvement. It shouldn't be passive, watching TV or others whatever they give suddenly eating. It should be felt. It should be all the senses should be taken into consideration and then eat. So with this, our body also, automatically will be more processing the food. Okay, and also will we are eating and all. Okay, so avoid bribing and threatening for eating. This is important, and no eating during the TV, and the screen time, as I told, to limit. Okay, and food should never be a part of the reward or the punishment. Okay, sometimes we see in the OPDs, kids, cry post the vaccination, so giving a chocolate. Okay, so what are the things to be seen in kids beyond 2 years? What are the factors we can take into consideration? So encourage fiber-rich food, mainly the fruits, the vegetables, whole grains are better in that. Okay, and as we were discussing, avoid the junk food. So what comes under junk is the ultra processed food, the junk food, the beverages, the sweetened beverages, the carbonated beverages. Okay, and nutritionally inappropriate, so many things comes under the junk category. So these items better to avoid. As we discussed, the caffeinated drinks better to avoid, the colored and carbonated beverage also. So to and better would be whole fruit. Okay, compared to the fruit juice, and restrict sweetened food and okay. And there is one 5-2-1-0 rule. Okay, so 5 servings of fruits and vegetables daily. Okay, if not five, at least one or two. Okay, and limit the screen time. We told kids less than 2 years, no screen time. 2 to 5, almost 1 hour, and above 5, 2 hours of healthy, meaning good educational screen time. Okay, and there should be 1 hour of physical activity. In the kids above 5 years, 1 hour should be there of physical activity, and in the infants and children, they'll be active, they'll be going, they'll be crawling. So those things should be encouraged, and zero sugar sweetened beverages. Okay, and yeah, children 5 to 10 years, 60 minutes of minimum moderate vigorous activity daily. It should include an aerobic exercise. Okay, and at least 3 times a week there should be this high training. Okay, and yeah, as we discussed, the sleep time also is important. Okay, adequate quality sleep reduces obesity, and it promotes the healthy behavior. Okay, so I hope the doubts of obesity, and what all leads to the obesity, and how can we prevent, all these are covered in my slide. Okay, so we'll have an interactive session right now. uh, so do you know your child BMI percentile? Are parents over there? Whether you can type it in the chat box. BMI percent for child. So BMI above 95 we tell as obese. The 85 to 94 is overweight. Okay, so next time when you go to the doctor or the pediatrician, you can ask the BMI. Okay, so we take it weight, height consideration for the calculation of BMI. So BMI, as you know, in adults, are about 25-30 is obese. In the children also, we follow a particular graph where around 85 to 94 we call as overweight, and more than 95 it is obese. Okay, and India is almost the second highest for the number of obese, thanks to population, next to China. So we'll have one more question. So how many hours of screen time daily? So how many hours does on TV or mobile or tab or any other electronic gadgets? It is the number of hours he is spending. In India, the overall maybe the screen time is comparatively less, whereas if you see in the US and others, kids 5 to 10 years spend almost 5-6 hours in the gadgets. So that shouldn't be there. Okay. So for the kid, as we told, less than 2 years, no screen time, play, involvement, talk, that, this, and all. 2 to 5 years, 1 hour, about 2 years, above 5 years, sorry, 2 hours of healthy screen time. And next question is, does your child get 60 minutes of activity daily? Can you please answer in the chat box?
Most of the parents have the answer as no.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes. We have one answer. Karishma is telling, okay. And there is one more chat. My son using television on hours daily. If a child is, if your son is above 5 years, that is acceptable. Okay. But it should be healthy watching education items. Okay. And what one habit will you change from tomorrow? After listening to all these obesity, obese prevention, what is the one habit will you change from tomorrow for the betterment of your child? If there is no answer, that means you have not understood my talk. Okay. And how many of you like your child being chubby? Frankly speaking, in India, it is a common thing. We see the OPD practice. Okay, the parents come if the child is lean, not gaining weight. They have too many questions: how to do it, how to improve, such things and all. And if the child is obese, they're actually in fact very happy. Okay, and they don't ask also if a child is obese, if a child is fat. The parents usually don't ask also how to come down on the weight. So chubbiness is a social thing. So many of us like the kids being chubby. Okay. So can you please repeat? So I was talking about this chubbiness and all, and previous to that, I was talking about what one habit will you change from tomorrow. So even the grandparents, they like the to be chubbier. They tell in Kannada, "Dappane ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ sir, ಏನಾರ್ ಕೊಡಿ." Okay. Screen time. So screen time generally in the kids less than 2 years, we generally tend to avoid the screen time, TV, mobile, whatever, video calling. That is, first 2 hours they should explore, they should play, they should mingle with other people. So first 2 years no screen time. 2 to 5 years we generally advise. This is according to the American guidelines and the guidelines. Uh, 1 hour of screen time. So above 5 years, it is almost 2 hours is accepted, even for the kids more than 10 years. Education of the healthy screen time. Okay. So there is one question by Shashi Kumar. Hello, doctor. I have a doubt. My son, 3 years, is not taking his food properly. We need to spend hours to feed him. Is that good for him? Can you give advice? Okay. Okay, that means he's in the opposite category. He may not be obese, probably. This picky eating or not eating thing in kids, okay, commonly seen in the school age groups for some particular time in the growth, it is not okay. So, how to deal with it is, as we discussed in our previous, to be knowing what exactly is there in the food, meaning how to prepare the food, and get the child involved in buying, in cooking, and other important thing in the Indian scenario. In the previously when they were joint family, other things, we tend to eat together, okay, sitting together and eating. So this will also improve the feeding habits. So maybe some educational, books or something can be shown to the kid to know why eating is required. And of course, if they are more keen on the junk food or the sugary items, this beverages, this packed item, they may be eating less of whatever we want them to eat. Okay.
There are other parents posting or saying that they would want to
Yes.
change their food habits on time eating. This is by Vaishalish. The one habit that you asked that she would change is this that she's suggesting for their.
No, whether you can repeat the question, what are you?
It's not a
It was
question. The
not
question
clear.
that you asked, yeah, the one habit that you will change. So there's one,
Huh, huh.
yeah, the habit that they would want to change is food habits, and eating on time is something that Vaishali says was. And there
Oh,
is one
good, good,
more
good.
question from Shikha Sinha. My daughter is
Huh.
5. She's active, does swimming, cycling, and other activities. And her
Huh.
eating is also normal, but she's chubby and she's obese, and her waist area is also higher inside. Can you please help on that?
Maybe in that case, I'll have to physically check her. Okay, I'll get to
Oh,
show to a doctor. Okay.
okay.
Okay. Yeah.
There is one more question.
Huh.
What role do parents' eating habits play in child's weight and lifestyle?
What role?
What role do parents' eating habit play in child's weight and lifestyle? Like, as a
Okay, I
parent,
had commented
yeah,
on that.
how does my lifestyle
Okay,
affect
okay,
my children's life? Yeah.
okay. So, suppose the parents eat in front of the kids some packeted items or some items which is not healthy. The kid also will tend to copy that. Okay. So regularly eating or eating in front of the kids such items, the kid also will have more likely to eat such food because the kids copy what the parents do. Okay.
I hope the parent who asked is being answered. And there's one more question. How can we make kids more interested in healthy eating habits while junk food is very easily
Hmm.
accessible? I talking in perspective of school going kids.
That's what. So there are many factors of late for the increase of junk food consumption. So one is we can see the junk foods are easily available. There are a lot of stores, there are online grocery, lot of apps, so easily available on the way from the school to the home. A lot of shops, a lot of distractions. So the junk foods are easily available. So we need to better come down on that. Of course, because of the media and the other things, most of the ads or most of the sponsors, what not the sponsor, most of the ads what the kid see in TV is mostly because of the related to the junk food or beverages or the soft drinks. Okay, is the question answered?
I'm sure you must have answered. There's one more question in our chat box.
Okay,
How many meals to be given to a child in a day?
okay, so how old is the child? Maybe 3 to 4 meals, that is decent enough. 3 to 4 meals if the child is above 1 year.
And how much has genetics to do with the kid's weight? This is asked by Usha.
No, I told previously. So the kids are being obese a little more likely if the parents are obese. And of course, there could be genetic component also. There is 40% more risk if for the child to be obese if one of the parent is obese. And it doubles almost 80% if both the parents are obese. And there are some conditions, there are some genetic conditions where due to various other reasons also the child can be obese. These are some syndromes. These need not worry.
Mm.
But of course, there are some genetic aspects also to that.
Okay. And Vaishali asked that are biscuits good for their kids' health?
This is a common thing they ask in the OPD practice. Tell, they ask in Kannada, biscuits ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದಾ 6 ತಿಂಗಳಾಯ್ತು, maybe 6 months, can we give biscuits and all. Healthy biscuits are there, they can take. Okay. And some doctors also, some protein-based biscuits are there. Some doctors also advise such thing. So biscuits, if it is healthier one, meaning the composition is good, then the kids can have it. Of course, the numbers should be less. Okay, not too much of them.
And I'm sure these days, a lot of parents are into home cooking. They bake biscuits also at home. So that is also something,
Okay, if
there's a
it is quick,
trend that
yeah,
is being.
that should be decent enough. Okay.
Mr. Pankaj is asking, what is the best way to introduce solid foods to a child?
Since the child is almost 5, 6 months old, probably. So 6 months, we tend to start the solid food. The staple food or the easily available food generally we introduce. Okay, like the ragi they use commonly here. Such foods generally introduced and fruits and all. Maybe we can have a healthy discussion. Based on what they want. Okay, if they come and meet. And can we give supplements for a 7-year-old in case they're not consuming enough food? They can be given supplements, but the doctor needs to check whether there is any deficiency, whether it's any iron deficiency or any vitamin deficiency or calcium. So better to show to a doctor.
Okay, and there's one more question. How can we motivate kids to be active in this time, especially after the COVID scene has completely changed? Is there a specific tip that you would suggest to target this?
I think all of us would have come out of the COVID. Okay, and maybe taking them out, interacting, playing, so many things, and eating together or things are there, make go to a park, involve the child. Okay. Of late, we are seeing less of kids, maybe 2, 3 years back. More kids with behavior issues we did see because of the COVID, and obesity such things also very common. But these days we are seeing it less. So COVID is was there and it is gone now. There shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. And Ms. Amrita asked that what should be portion of milk daily as per age, and what should be the best time in the day to consume milk?
So milk, the amount of milk given is also important. Maybe the quantity also. 2 servings or 3 servings should be good enough. Morning, night, or evening, something like that. And it shouldn't be more than 500 or 400, 500 ml total.
Miss Vaishali asked that yoga for a 9-year-old or playing out is good.
Yoga for a 9-year-old, yes, she can do it.
Hmm. I
Kid
mean,
can do it.
she was to ask that is playing out good or yoga would be better for a 9-year-old.
Both.
Okay, great. And there's one more question. Their kid has a 7-hour screen time. How do they reduce this?
Okay, 7 hours. That's little more. One best thing some parents do is to not keep TV at home. Okay, and 7 hours is little more. Slowly let them come down on the screen time. Okay, and the number of gadgets what the child is seeing, slowly you can come down on that, and of course take them out, play. So many things can be done. Okay, and reading also, interactive sessions. So many things are there. So slowly take a screen time, not a sudden thing or a period of 1 or 2 weeks. Okay, Sanas is little more.
Yeah. Mr. Suhas has a question that how much protein is required for a 12-year-old kid? Please recommend the best source of for being a vegetarian.
What is the first question? How many?
How much protein is required for a 12-year-old? And please
Uh,
recommend the best source for vegetarian diet.
so how much protein required is depending on the weight or depending on the activity. Okay, vegetarian sources are there, nuts are there which are good in protein. Okay, and of course the cereal pulses what we eat, grams what we eat, they're also good in protein. Okay.
I'm sure all parents' answers, questions have been answered.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just wait for a few more questions, if any, then we
Yeah,
can
sure.
move ahead. Question from Ms. Zeba asking that what are the healthy lifestyle habits to be followed for a child on daily basis?
So what is the age of the child?
Zeba, if you're still live with us, if you could post in the age of your kid.
With the lifestyle, one is a food habit, one is a
Okay.
play, and
Okay.
one
She
is
has a 7-year-old.
interactions.
Yeah, she has a
Yeah, she had
seven-year-old
commented
girl.
7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so many things are there. The play, interaction with other people, friends. Okay, the healthier food. Okay, some physical activity. Screen time also should be less. Okay, and sleep, as I was discussing, there should be good sleep pattern also.
There's one more question. She says that I'm 5'3", a 13-year-old, and 40 kgs of weight. Is there something I can improve apart from the screen time?
So the weight maybe in the slightly higher end. Okay, the height should be decent enough. Okay, so as we discussed, the healthier food habits and some physical activity would be better, and the screen time, as she also told, should be minimized. Okay.
Also, Ms. Vaishali asked any health tips for hair growth for their kids?
Okay. So eating healthy foods, of course, improves the hair. Good absorption, meaning good quantity of protein, such things might the hair growth. Okay.
Okay. This Ms. Tinu who asked that how can parents prepare for a healthy pregnancy and a baby?
I'm a pediatrician. Okay, so maybe eating healthier food during pregnancy, some physical activity, and of course, once the child is delivered, we can take care. Okay.
We'll wait for a few more minutes if there are any
Yeah.
other questions. Yeah. Also, doctor, is there any generic supplement that we would suggest by age to kids? I'm sure a lot of parents are into supplements these days. So, is there any generic supplement that we could suggest for
No,
any?
we generally generic supplement. Okay. So the child is eating food properly, healthy food, then it is not required. As such, there is no generic health supplement. Okay.
So, what is the stage that you think, would be like a parent would be suggested to go for a checkup to check on the supplements if required in their kid? Is there any specific, symptom that is being noticed or
Okay,
if you see
so
changes in
maybe
behavior.
one is one is if the child is not growing in the height or weight, and if you see any color changes in the baby, like the child is more pale, or child is least interested in the activity, less involvement, getting easily tired, fatigue, okay, and not able to take the food properly, and these are the main things, or yeah, the food habits also. And when the parents should show to a doctor. Okay.
Right. Mr. Nishant has a question. Hello, doctor. My niece is currently teething and is not eating properly. Is this normal during teething? Also, what is the ideal weight for a 1-year-old baby?
So it depends on whether it is a boy or a girl. The weight, maybe roughly you can tell like 0.5 to 9.5 could be a good weight for a boy. And teething pain is quite common in the kids. Okay, and some days when it is more, they may eat less. That is commonly seen, but that shouldn't happen on a daily basis. If it is happening on a daily basis, then better to show to a pediatrician.
Miss Vaishali Arthi has another question saying that how about early puberty in girls? These days they are on high rise.
Yeah, we are seeing because of the various reasons, the puberty or the other symptoms, a little early, food habits or the play, many reasons are there. That is there, even the is the same thing, okay? But if you feel any concerning thing is there in the kid, like any signs of puberty, then better to show to a pediatrician or endocrinologist.
So is there any specific symptom or specific habit that they should be observing on this? Or something visibly if they would see or they notice, how would
Yes,
you?
visibly, if they would see, they would notice, then better to show. Okay, like in a girl, some changes are there. Such things better to get to noticed by a pediatrician. Okay. So, any more questions are there?
Wait.
Yeah.
So we don't have no more
Okay.
questions right now. And just one request, doctor, if you could stop sharing the screen now, we would play the
Okay.
AV and then we'll do the thanks.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Team, could you please put up the AV?
Uno, dos, tres, let's go. Uy, uy,
Como lo canto y lo siento yo, bailalo,
uy,
gózalo,
uy.
como lo canto y lo siento yo, como
Uno, dos, tres, let's go.
School's out! Time to take over the world. Innerwear and leisure wear for troublemakers. Jockey Juniors.
lo canto y lo siento yo.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for that insightful and reassuring session. And a heartfelt thank you to all the parents who took time out of their busy schedules to join us today. Your presence and participation truly made this session very meaningful. We hope today's discussion has given you valuable perspectives and practical takeaways to support your child's well-being and with greater confidence. And this session was part of NIE Color Splash, an initiative by the Times of India's NIE program in association with Jockey Juniors. We look forward to bringing you many more such enriching engagements. Have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Dr. Nitin.
Yeah. Yeah. Once again, thank you. It was a good, interaction, a lot of questions, and thank you once again for the time, to the Times team and the Jockey Juniors. Okay.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for
Take
taking
care.
out time from your busy schedule with that. Yeah. Good.